We live. We live. Yup. Yup. I guess we going back to back like Drizzy. I guess we going back to back like Drizzy. All of y'all that is on Instagram, I appreciate y'all. Y'all on YouTube locking in. I appreciate y'all too. You feel me? It's second round. And I'm just gonna be here until the Eagles make their pick. For real. A birthday tomorrow. That's why I got the fresh cut. Shout out to the Dominicans. Be getting your boy right. But yeah, one of my top guys that I wanted, um, Nick Amenwari from South Carolina. Seahawks traded up for him. I was like, dang. But I believe in Sidney Brown, though. I believe in Sidney Brown. Do y'all believe? Because I believe. I still miss CJ Garner Johnson. I ain't gonna lie. I still miss CJ, man. I still miss CJ. I'm about to just put in my headphones. Somehow this guy doesn't stop. Real rap, bro. Hey, shout out to you. Birthday on. I'm gonna just do my headphones of it, John. Y'all talking about some don't say Sidney Brown. Y'all the bid, yo. Y'all the bid. CJ wasn't the best in coverage. Like, he ain't no Kyle Hamilton, but like he objectively turned up after that bye. You feel me? But I think it's other stuff as to why he got traded that Howie isn't saying. Because you don't trade a guy like that. 6 picks each year, 12 picks in 2 years. That ain't no accident. That ain't no coincidence. He's nice, bro. But look, that ship has sailed. Ooh, shucks. But yeah, while the Patriots just keep on, the Patriots are up. Here's what I gotta say when I recap the draft. And I'm gonna just pull up. Let me just pull up this whole draft board of the first round. We can just recap that real quick. Because all right, bro, like how I see it, bro, is really like the Eagles were in a position that they actually filled potentially the position of need that they needed the most. Think about that. With Nakobe being out, unless we believe that Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is going to be a starting linebacker from the start of training camp, it's gonna be it's Zach Bond and then like who else? So you bring in Jahad Campbell in the first round, assuming that his shoulder heals up, and I believe it will. You're talking about a week 1 starter. And so I was talking with some of my friends who's Cowboys fans. My other friend, he a Ravens fan. And the thing is, like, we're very, very spoiled. Us Eagles fans of lately. Not as a franchise, but as of lately, we've been spoiled. Because we do have a crazy roster. We do. I ain't calling her no super team because I'm not buying that after they doubted us, doubted my quarterback. But what I will say is we got some pieces. And so, like, when we say we need a defensive lineman, which I've definitely said, I mean, we got Jalen freaking Carter, Nolan Smith, Jalen Hunt, Aziz Ojolare, Moro Ajomo. Most of these guys was playing important snaps in the Super Bowl. You feel me? So it's like a lot of teams would love to be in the position the Eagles are in. Even like in the secondary, you got Coop. In the nickel, you got Quinion. You got Ringo. With the safeties, you got Reed. And most likely, you're going to have Sidney Brown. There's one wild card with that. The Eagles could draft Kevin Winston Jr. from Penn State. Here's the thing with Kevin Winston Jr. Safety from Penn State. I think the knock on him and why he wasn't a first round pick, and he very well might not go in the second round, is because of his lack of play his last year. He got injured, and so he doesn't have that much tape at Penn State. Now, the tape that he does have is nice. He's a freak athlete. But because of the inconsistency, and I'm talking about Kevin Winston Jr., y'all, because of the inconsistencies that he's had with staying on the field, now his instincts in terms of reading zone coverages, instincts on playing guys man to man, if it is a time that he got to do that, sometimes are off. He's good against the run, but he got to stay healthy. So the Eagles could ultimately say, we're going to draft Kevin Winston Jr. maybe in the third round, and then it'll bring some great competition between Winston Jr. and Sidney Brown. So then whoever wins that, John, is legit. It's iron sharpens iron is a real thing. It's a real thing. And if there's an injury, God forbid, now we got a stud-ass safety off the bench. It's the same exact thing with what happened with these linebacker groups. Like you got N'Kobe, who's injured. You bring in Jahai Campbell. The thought is, well, if you bring in Jahai Campbell, and when N'Kobe heals up, they're going to be competing for that starting linebacker spot next to Zach Bond. That's going to bring out the best of both of them. Because, both of them are huge competitors. You got one guy from Georgia and the other guy from Alabama. That def means something. Somebody asks, what do you want us to draft in the second and the third? Well, I talked about, the Bears drafted Luther Burden the third. How much help does Caleb Williams need? Bro got himself a squad. Like, bro, he should. I'm gonna get to your question, bro. If all of y'all will be on Instagram shortly, and then we'll go just exclusively to YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, just stay on here. But yeah, Caleb Williams, he got DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland, Roma Dunze, DJ Moore, Luther Burden the third. My goodness. If he's as generational talent they say he is, it's time to show up. Um, but in terms of who I want in the second and third round, number one, Mason Taylor. Number one, Mason Taylor. And y'all watching, comment down below who you want. Comment down below. And I made like a little draft board for the second and third round. But one thing that I realized, bro, one thing I realized, um, these mock drafts really don't matter. Like mine was crazy off. Everybody was crazy off. Ain't nobody had Jackson Dart going in the first round. Ain't nobody had that BS going on. They didn't. I thought I had. I got off the top. It's a couple of guys. So Mason Taylor, right? He's a guy that he can replace Dallas Goedert. Mason Taylor, tight end from LSU. He is the son of Hall of Famer Jason Taylor. He's somebody that day one can be productive in the passing attack. Day one. His route tree is insane. His experience, you can't understate that. I mean, in Mason Taylor's freshman year, he pulled off a iconic 2-point play to beat Alabama. That was in 2022. You know? And then Mason Taylor has been productive with Jaden Daniels and Garrett Nussmeier. So you got Mason Taylor. You could also go ahead and grab Elijah Arroyo. The thing with Elijah Arroyo, while he might have a higher ceiling and he's more athletically gifted, he's had some, he's had some issues in terms of staying on the field. And his last year was with Cam Ward, who was the Heisman. Wait, did he win the Heisman? No, I'm tripping. It was Trav. But, he was a Heisman candidate for sure. I'd rather go with Mason Taylor because he proved he can do it with anybody. Outside of Mason Taylor, Donovan, Uzuwarke. I'm just calling him Donovan. The guy Donovan from Boston College, bro. Donovan from Boston College. I would love to draft him. And it's great value because some folks had him going in the late first round. So we can go ahead and get this guy in the second round. It's looking that way. I'm about to see who the Saints about to pick. Are we serious? Are we serious? Are we serious? It's getting to a point, y'all. It's really getting to a point. It's really getting to a point. How can you be a top 5 projected pick? It was a debate as to who's better. And it's a lot of people saying still today that they would rather have Shedeur Sanders over Cam Ward. So how did it go from, it's a debate between Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders for who should be the number one overall pick or who's the best quarterback in his class. And now 3 quarterbacks have been drafted above him. What this tells me is that Kellen Moore is a turkey. Hold up. See, now I'm about to, hold up. I'm going to, Kellen Moore turkey. Somebody comment that just so I can remember. So I can just, I'm going to respond to this real quick. Joel Klatt, Mel Kiper have been on record saying Shedeur Sanders is their top-rated quarterback in the draft. It's a simple Google search. It's a simple Google search. It's simple. Mel Kiper, Shedeur Sanders. Joel Klatt, Shedeur Sanders. Now, if somebody thinks that Cam Ward is better, that's a fair take. But now we're in an area where folks are trying to revise history. I'm getting comments that saying he's a bum. You're trolling. You're rage baiting. In no world, in no stratosphere, is Shedeur Sanders a bum. He's not. And yes, these NFL teams don't know what the F they're doing sometimes. They don't. Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is a turkey because he's insecure about his job. Think about this. He don't want to draft Shedeur Sanders knowing that Shedeur is better than Tyler Shough. Like, come on. Because he knows if I have one bad year with Shedeur Sanders, hell, during my first year with Shedeur Sanders, there's going to be talk about, is Deion going to be the coach? That will forever be the topic. So I think a lot of these teams, and I'm firm on this because it's no explanation unless he's out here just in these interviews saying racial slurs. It's like, why are you dropping this low? When obviously the ability is there. So don't give me, I was seeing these idiots on mainstream media talking about some, well, they just didn't like his game. That's all that was. They didn't think that he was a first round talent. The biggest thing is the Pop situation. I'll give you this. If Shedeur was Andrew Luck, Trevor Lawrence, Caleb Williams coming into the NFL, he would have got drafted top 5, regardless. I'll give you that. But still, to have 3 quarterbacks drafted over this guy is clear as day, showing they are scared of Shedeur's daddy. That's what it is. Now, if I'm Shedeur, I'm looking at Jalen Hurts. And I'm saying, with Jalen Hurts, Burrow, Herbert, Love, Tua, several guys was drafted before Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts, as a Heisman runner-up candidate, he dropped to the second round, where the Eagles, who at the time had a franchise quarterback, said, we need some security. They took him. And then in Hurts' first start, he beats the Saints, who had the best defense in the league. And that was all she wrote. Now he's a Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP. So the more picks that come and the more the disrespect piles up, it's making a guy be an underdog. It's making a guy really be an underdog. I'm sorry. Tom Brady ain't mentoring somebody who's a bum. He not. This is not Make-A-Wish Foundation, bruh. Brady not just doing this because of the kindness out of his heart. Brady, like Jordan, they're killers. They're killers. And they're not about to be taking somebody under their wing who they don't see as a killer. When Jordan mentored Kobe, that was because what? Kobe a killer. When Kobe mentored Kyrie, why? Kyrie's a killer. Tom Brady mentoring Shedeur Sanders? Want to know what they both are? Killers. That's what it is. And hell, if there's one guy they want to try to compare Jalen Hurts to, if they want to say Shedeur Sanders, in terms of the disrespect, I don't agree. I don't disagree. I'll say that. But at this rate, Jalen Murrow is going to be drafted before Shedeur. So it's looking like it's getting nasty now. It's looking like a 4th, 5th round. Yeah, no, like, hey, if you want to say, you feel me, like, you feel like Shedeur will be average, I disagree, but I don't hate it. Like, if somebody, like, here. Somebody compared Shedeur Sanders to the Geno Smith that we see now. That's not disrespect. Geno Smith is a top 15 quarterback. Like this Geno Smith, not the Jets Geno Smith, this Geno Smith today. That's a top 15 quarterback. He's better than several guys. And if he was put in, better situations, he would be more productive than a lot of guys. So I don't hate that comparison. But it's getting disrespectful. Somebody said next pickup prediction. I think the Eagles gonna go tight end. I think they will because it's like you got Dallas Goedert out here, and I don't think the Eagles stay put with him. I think that there's interest around the league for Goddard, and that he'll either be traded for a 4th round pick, maybe a 3rd round pick, and that team that maybe trades him, they guarantee him like $10 million, $11 million, $12 million. But the Eagles ain't about to pay him no 11, 12 mil. That's just not happening. Just sorry. And it really got nothing to do with Goddard's talent. It's about his age, it's about his injury history, and it's about the Eagles' cap situation. Obviously, the Eagles are a better team with a healthy Dallas Goddard than without Dallas Goddard. Night and day. I do think with Mason Taylor, he has the highest floor out of all the tight ends available. I also like the guy from Bowling Green. I like that guy. Um, who's that Bowling Green tight end? I forget his name. But his yards after contact is ridiculous. Oh, yeah, Harold Fannin. Damn, cuz 20? I'm getting old. But yeah, no, his yak is insane. His yak is insane. So, but the Eagles will need to draft a tight end. They'll need to. The Raiders should just picked up Shedeur. Yeah, they should. Bro, Gino and Shedeur are a lot alike. Somebody asked, what do you think of Jalen Milrow? Not as a pick for the Eagles, but what do you think of him as a player? I like Jalen Milrow. This is actually like nutty. It's nutty, bro. It's nutty, bro. It's real nutty because the Jets done grabbed Mason Taylor, bro. All right. Elijah Arroyo from Miami. You next up, gang. You next up, gang. I think Elijah Arroyo has a higher upside, just his floor might be lower. But Mason Taylor's nice, bro. He's tough. He's tough. He's tough. Now, Justin Fields got himself a weapon. He got himself a weapon. He got some more protection. I don't want to hear no excuses for him. I don't want to hear no excuses for Justin Fields in a bad division. You got the Bills outside the Bills. Like, what are we talking about? Come on, Fields. Um, so yeah, I guess now we're looking for Elijah Arroyo. Do y'all want to go offense or defense? I feel like the 49ers are going to be weird and grab Donovan from Boston College. And it's funny. I be saying like they're weird when they're doing what's best for their organization. like the Ravens. Y'all are weird though. You got Kyle Hamilton. You got Kyle Hamilton. Get in my man Malachi Starks, bruh. Oh, they got Alfred Collins. Okay. 49ers trying to cook some. 49ers trying to cook some. Um, but yeah, back to the Jalen Milrow thing. I think he has potential. I think he got potential. I think just in terms of processing, like he's miles away. That's why I kind of got annoyed by the whole like Jalen Hurts comps because if you're comparing the Jalen Hurts that headed into the NFL draft, the guy that came off 52 total touchdowns, 32 passing touchdowns at Oklahoma, no, they're not comparable outside of running, being from Alabama, and having the same name, Jalen. But Jalen Hurts was light years ahead of Jalen Milroe coming out of college. So that's something that Milroe will have to improve on for sure. For sure. What are we gonna do for tight end? It's two guys, bro. Elijah Arroyo and Harold Fannin. Elijah Arroyo is from University of Miami. You got Harold Fannin. He's from Boston. He's from Bowling Green. Who do y'all want to see as draft? Comment down below. Comment down below. Yeah, I like Winston Jr. and I think it will be good for him to compete. For him to compete with Sidney Brown. I like that. But the Eagles in a good spot, bro. Like this defense is gonna be insane. But yeah, that the Mason Taylor one that hurt. That definitely hurt. Oh, the Cowboys got Donovan, bruh. That was a good pick from them. Yeah, Donovan Ezeraku. That's a really good pick. And here's my thing. Here's my message to Giants fans, Cowboys fans, saying I'm just hating on all day picks, bro. If y'all actually had good picks, I would say it's good picks. I would say it. I don't feel like now Donovan Ezeraku, that was a good move by the Cowboys. That was. And I understand in the first round why they went to the trenches, but I'm sorry, bro. You got to go ahead and get Dak some more weapons. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not. And the beauty of the Eagles is the fact that they can draft Devontae Smith in the first round, but then they can also trade for AJ Brown. And that's your wide receiver one and your wide receiver two, or 1A, 1B. The Cowboys stick to the trenches, but then they don't go out here and be in free agency, make real trades, but their calling card is the draft. That ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work. And that explains why that it's been 30 years since the Cowboys have got to the NFC Championship. That's why. So let's just look at I'm gonna look at who's the best available right now. Let me see who's the best available. How y'all feel? How y'all feel about us getting Mike Green? He's falling, bro. He's falling, bro. He real deal falling. Like, bruh, he's very well the best pass rusher left. And I don't think it's close. I don't think it's close. It's just about like, do you want to be that guy that like take him and stuff? And I don't know if the um I don't know if the Eagles want to be that team that like they just take in the guys that like mess up or do stuff allegedly and stuff like that. I don't know if they want to be known for that. But Mike Green, bro, am I wilding? Am I wilding for saying we draft cuz? Oh yeah, Mike Green is a top 15, top 20 talent. He was supposed to go first round. And he dropped in some mock drafts because folks were bracing for him to not uh be in that top 10 because of his off-field issues. But the Colts, they get JT. Yeah, it's gonna be. I cannot believe the Saints got Tyler Show. I high key want Howie to trade up so I can like get this stream over with. But Roger Goodell gotta like make this joint quicker. Like he got to. I want Mike Green. I ain't gonna lie. Will Johnson too. What about Nick Gordon? I like that. I'd probably say Landon Jackson, the boy from Arkansas. I'm gonna read Scorin's. I'm gonna read Scorin's draft profile. Scorin bends well enough to dip and rip at the top of his pass rush. He gets good push as a power rusher and mixes in an effective spin move. He tracks the quarterback and falls back inside when the quarterback steps up. But Scorin is also a disruptive run defender who slips blocks and has good stopping strength. He has size and explosive power to set the edge, and he closes well and makes plays chasing from the backside. Wow. I'm about to look at some tape of him, this man, and this guy. I'm about to look at this tape because this looks phenomenal. Miz look phenomenal. And that's the thing. I made a video on this. And I'm like, oh, he got a nasty spin move. Yeah, he got a nasty spin move. And he getting held too. Oh, he tough. Yeah, he tough. Oh, I'm convinced. I'm convinced. Yeah, I'm convinced. I like that. I like that. Yeah. So it reminds me of a good Von Miller, little Nick Scorton. I like that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just like waiting for a notification that says Albie Roseman has decided to trade up. Ooh. Is this my Bears fan that be showing love? Yeah, you gotta be a Bears fan. How do I feel about Luther Burden the third for the Bears? I think this is Ben Johnson saying this my thing. I'm about to have one of the most dynamic offenses in the league, or at least that's what he envisions. I'm looking at this and I say they bolstered up the Bears O line. Last year they drafted Roma Dunze, ninth. They got DJ Moore. They got Colston Loveland. They got Cole Kmet. They got DeAndre Swift. And I think I mentioned this before, but the O line got a big upgrade. I mean, hell, you got Joe Thuney. And so you bolstered up that jump. So it's no excuses for Caleb Williams. Like his situation right now is light years better than the situation Jaden Daniels had. That's just being fair. And some of y'all be saying, oh, Miles, you don't be trying to give the teams in the NFC East credit. I give the Commanders credit. I'm just not about to say Jaden Daniels over Jalen Hurts. And the Giants are an incompetent organization. Even when the Cowboys, when they got Donovan Ezaraku, I said that's a good John. That's a good John. That's a good John. So we're just trying to be fair. We're just trying to be fair. But yeah, bro, like it's just on Caleb Williams. If they call you a generational prospect, then if you got DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland, Luther Burden III, Roma Dunze, DJ Moore, and a new O-line and the most coveted guy to get a head coaching position, and Ben Johnson. I mean, everybody wanted him. Everybody. You got everything there. Everything. He is got to get it done. Arizona, their pick is in. Watch Watch Jonathan Gannon get a defensive lineman again and piss me off. It's so weird. He's a nut. He's a nut. Oh my gosh. They got Will Johnson. Well, wow. Was his injury that bad? It's just weird. Like almost every mock draft had Will Johnson top 10. I think I had him going to the Dolphins. But I just I don't get it. I just don't get how he dropped that far. Unless he got some injury that nobody was able to come from, or it was like a rare percentage of people that came back from it. All right. I want Elijah Arroyo, Landon, Landon Jackson. I could bang with Kevin Winston Jr., Nick Scorton. Yeah, it's been an odd draft. It's been a weird draft, bro. It's been a weird draft. Cause my boy Shedeur, they doing bro dirty, bro. They doing him dirty. Oh, who the Cowboys get? They got Davin Ezeraku. That was a good pick. I wanted him low key. High key, I wanted him. High key. Now I'm really hoping Howie can I hope Howie can trade up. Cause it is a Friday night. My birthday tomorrow. I'm about to go out. Hey, shout out Young Thug. Cause Young Thug tweeted, he said, at Shedeur Sanders, Tom Brady didn't go first round, kid. Oh yeah. Yeah, Harold Fannin, the Bowling Green guy. I feel like that's the need, right? Like that's look, it's gonna be either edge We know it's three things. We know it's three things. It's going to be defensive line, it's going to be tight end, or safety. That's what it is. Now, some could say, hey, we want Justin Simmons. So maybe we don't need to grab a safety. I would still grab a safety just because Sidney Brown, he has been injured. I mean, he had the one major injury, but you don't want to just have that. Like, you don't want to just have Sidney Brown be your death piece. You want somebody else. So Kevin Winston Jr. play with, I think he played with Jahan Dotson. I think, pretty sure. I agree with that. Somebody said, yeah, I agree with that to an extent. That Simmons would be Byard 2.0. Yeah, because Byard was terrible. I think it's different because Justin Simmons really knows Vic Fangio and Christian Parker. Like, Kevin Byard was put in a situation where it was Sean Desai, it was Matt Patricia. I'm sorry. Under Matt Patricia, Lawrence Taylor might look like a bum. I'm dragging it. I know I'm dragging it, but like Matt Patricia is truly one of the worst coaches professionally to ever grace planet Earth. He's actually terrible. And so I like that. Got the Texans, they getting a tackle. But I'm just, oh, I gotta apologize for this. I gotta apologize for this. Um, I kind of doubted the report that initially said the Eagles were trying to trade up to get Jahad Campbell. I thought it was Cap at first because I thought if they were going to trade up, it would be for Malachi Starks or Walter Nolan. But the way Howie Roseman answered the phone and Jeffrey Lurie's reaction as well, like you can't fake that. Like clearly, that was a guy that they thought, hey, if he's ever in our reach, we got to make a splash. And so, yeah, I thought they were trying to do some good PR. Like tell the reporters, "Oh yeah, we were trying to trade for him the whole time." Versus like, going out here and uh saying nah, like we actually wanted Malachi Starks. Like that's just not a good thing to say. But that's why I'm not the GM of the Eagles and Howie Roseman is. Because I would have never thought we would get Jahad Campbell. I would have never guessed it. Um, the Bengals, they got to hit that draft. They got to hit this draft. If they want to make the playoffs, they got to hit this draft. They got to. Somebody asks, so you think the Eagles had Jihad graded higher than Starks? Yes, I do. I do. I think both things can be true. Like Starks was nice, or he is nice, and he's gonna be a stud. But the versatility that Jahad Campbell brings to this Vic Fangio defense, I mean, bro, he's good against the run and in coverage. Like, like he's legit. Somebody said, "Hey, might as well get Sanders if ain't nobody else gonna get him." That would be a terrible. Hey, I like the positivity for Shedeur because I'm a Shedeur guy, but it's kind of like I want other teams to get the whole media circus with the whole Shedeur thing. I don't want that to be with my team. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Not my team. Not my Super Bowl champion team. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, I like somebody saying the RAS thing. Let me tap into that real quick. And I'm gonna make a video on this. Well, I already made it, but I'm gonna make a reel on this. But like peep this, bro. So Howie Roseman has a special way of measuring athleticism. It's called RAS, relative athletic score. It's from a scale from 0, not athletic, to 10, you're a freak athlete. And I have the stats on it. Let me read y'all this, right? Since 2022, and we know since 2022, the Eagles and Howie Roseman have basically batted like 1,000 in the draft. But the Eagles selected 21 total players in the NFL draft since 2022. 17 of those 21 players had an RAS, a relative athletic score of 8 or above. That's 80%. Now, the relative athletic score, it factors in your pro day, your combine, and it simplifies both into that system from 0 to 10. That's what it does. That is what it does. And so I'm looking at like recent draft picks from the Eagles. Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell had over an 8. Nolan Smith over an 8. Jalen Hunt over an 8. Jalen Carter over an 8. Guess what? Jahad Campbell has a RAS score of 9.98. It's either 9.98 or like 9.88. I'm going to stop being nerdy and geeky and tell it to you straight. Jahad's a freak athlete. He's a freak show. He is. And so then when you mix his God-given athletic ability with Vic Fangio, who's going to coach him up right? Oh my gosh. And then Jihad is surrounded by Super Bowl champions. He's surrounded by first team All Pros. He's surrounded by vets that would get him straight and young guys as well. It's too good to pass up on. Way too good. Oh, and then also for context too, bro. Jalen Reagor, one of the worst draft picks in Eagles history, had a RAS score of around 5. And Elijah Arroyo is gone. Uh, Dang, bro. Dang, bro. Elijah Arroyo, gone. My guy, Nick Scorton, he's gone. They literally said his comp is Brandon Graham. No. I'm trying to tell you, if we get Landon Jackson, oh, come on. That's the one. 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 Landon Jackson is the one, bro. Mike Green still available. Mike Green is still available. Hey, think about this, y'all. Darius Alexander from Toledo. I think we've had good luck with guys from Toledo. I would infer that him and Quignon gotta be somewhat cool, somewhat close. Good for team chemistry. Bro, this guy, Mike Green. think how we gotta do it. I think how we gotta do it. Yeah, we got Sydney Brown. Five. Five. Hey, shout out Joy. She had me on Sports Center. I ain't famous. I just know some folks. I ain't famous though. Got the guys in this joint. Yeah, they haven't picked Shedeur yet. Nah. Tyler's show is actually like, insane. Like, yeah. Now, I'm sorry. I read something that said Donovan Ezeraku, the guy that got drafted by the Cowboys, that he grew up an Eagles fan and that at his draft party, some attendees had Eagles gear on and he had to tell them to take it off. And then he said, like, last year was my last year as an Eagles fan. Donovan, I mean, he got some long arms, bro, and some really good athleticism. The Cowboys did their thing with that one. It's drawing crazy, bro. But you know, they definitely playing in his face. Like it's they drawing. They're drawing bad. All right. Before the Eagles is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Dang, bro. So like this how it go when you win the Super Bowl? You pick last in every draft? Type of hating stuff is that? What type of hating stuff is that? Mike Green to Philly? Somebody said the Raiders will pick Shedeur. I don't know if Pete Carroll old ass wants that stress. Cause you gotta be a strong-willed head coach. Not saying Pete Carroll isn't, but he's old as hell. I don't know if he wants to deal with the media circus. That's not Shedeur's fault. Um, it's not his fault. I think the Sanders family, they play into it. You know, they definitely play into it. But it come from a good place. Like, it's not malicious. Like, I don't see anybody, any other draft pick saying like after the first round, we knew it wasn't supposed to be like this and have it on video. Like, they are flashy. Now again, they back it up, so I like them. But man, my guy Cozy said, does this show the power of LeBron and the power of Prime? This shows the power of the NFL versus the power of the NBA. Because the NBA, the players have way more power. The NFL, if you try to flex your muscles, unless you're just a generational talent, they will get rid of you. Or they will humble you. Or try to humble you. The NBA, it don't work like that. Nah. No, I don't. Nah. Yeah, Dion's boys ain't. Shedeur will get Shedeur will get drafted. He will get drafted. It's just mm. Like, for instance, bro, like when I was talking about like the NBA versus the NFL, like think about it like this. You had LeVar Ball saying, like, the Lakers should pick my son. And the Lakers bought into it and picked Lonzo second overall. Just after De'Aaron Fox cooked him in the Sweet 16. LeVar Ball essentially moved the needle for his son to go second overall. That's the power of players and their families in the NBA versus how much the NFL values the players and their families. Like the NBA, they're going to bend the knee every time. Tiffany dark chocolate. It's Howie Roseman season. Go Birds. Yeah, we're definitely spoiled. The Eagles wouldn't trade up to get Mike Green. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. They're not gonna do that. Optics wise, it look bad. Like if he falls in their lap, I'm saying you gotta take him. I'm just you got if he's there at the end of the second round, or like it's y'all and the Chiefs, you gotta take him. But in terms of like trading up to get a guy with allegations against him, that's wicked. That that's wicked. That's pretty wicked. Appreciate you, bro. Turning 24 at midnight. At midnight. As soon as the Eagles make they pick, bro, I will be getting myself a drink. Now I hope Green falls to us. I ain't gonna lie though. All right. The Raiders at 58 could very well draft Shedeur. The Lions have just traded up, y'all. And this is what I think that they're gonna do. The Lions are about to trade up for Mike Green. But it is getting wicked out here, bro. Like the disrespect for Shador is getting wicked. Who do we want to draft? We want to draft Landon Jackson, either Kevin Winston Jr., um, the tight end from Bowling Green, Harold Fannin, Harold Fanine, whatever his name. My guy Harold from Bowling Green. Maybe Gunnar Helm. I ain't do too much research on him. I ain't gonna lie. Any of my college football people, let me know how Gunnar Helm is, or if you watch Texas. I'm about to ask my cousin. He a diehard Texas guy. Diehard Texas guy. I agree. Mike Green is too good to pass up. He is too good to pass up. Lion Eagle TTV. So you a Lions fan? I see you got the Eagles. I mean, you on this channel, so you got to be Eagles fan. But no, we haven't picked anybody up yet, brother. Somebody said what the Lions going O line. Oh, you talking about offensive line for the second round? Interesting. Here's why I'm not buying that. Because Jeff Stoutland is the best offensive line coach in the game. We've literally drafted an all pro in the 7th round. So I would see the Eagles get more offensive linemen in the 4th or 5th round. Or if there's a guy that they really, really like in the 3rd round. But that's the luxury you have when you have amazing coaches, is that you don't have to necessarily get the highest rated guys. Because there's obviously like other issues to address outside of O-line. But I do think if it's not this draft, next draft, they'll look into Lane Johnson and getting his replacement. And I would expect Lane Johnson to really be on that search too. Kind of like how Jason Kelsey was with Cam Jurgens. Now Cam Jurgens is a top 6 center in the league. So Kelsey knows what he's talking about. But I could see I could see the Eagles drafting a guard or drafting a tackle who can play guard and essentially you would have that offensive lineman and Tyler Steen and Kenyon Green as the guys who are competing for that guard spot opposite to Land Dickerson. Oh my God. This is so wild. The Raiders. The Raiders have selected. The Raiders have selected Jack Beck as their wide receiver. Can the Bills beat the Chiefs this year? Josh Allen got to do it. He got to do it for me to believe it. And I don't believe him. He let me down too many times. Too many times. Boston College got some guys. Yeah, Boston College got a couple of guys. Dylan Sampson in later round as a gadget bat would be great. Y'all don't believe in Will Shipley like that? All right, y'all bored, but I'll entertain it. Not gonna lie, Josh Allen clears Jalen Hurts. Bruh. We got these if scenarios, bro. Game for your life. Game for your life. Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts. Who you picking? Who you picking? Now close your eyes before you make your pick. One of those guys has a Super Bowl MVP, and has outplayed Patrick Mahomes 3 straight times and has beaten him 2 out of 3 times. Who do you think is better? Because Josh Allen can get 6 touchdowns against the Lions or against the Rams or whoever, and he's a amazing talent. He is. He's an amazing talent. Top 5 quarterback, top 4 quarterback. I'm picking Jalen Hurts, though. Oh, we can go there. I'm trolling, but I'm not trolling the fact that Sanders hasn't been taken. Is showing me some racism. Oh, come on. No, it's definitely. Come on. What they gonna say is. What they gonna say is like, well, Anthony Richardson or Caleb Williams, they got drafted high. They don't. That's like saying. That's like somebody being subject to racism, and then somebody else says, well, so and so didn't get that against them. What they got to do with me? What they got to do with me? Oh, Shamar said that he's never experienced racism. Okay, that's Shamar. That ain't me. But it got more to do with like they don't like that cocky stuff, that quote unquote cocky stuff. But when it's Baker Mayfield, it's cool. When it's Johnny Manziel, it's cool. And I'll be objective. I'll be fair. Like they are Heisman winners, but the discourse around them wasn't this nasty. And something I don't get is like something I don't get, bro, is when you have somebody that is in the public eye or has been in the public eye for their whole entire life, It's like for them to even get this far shows their mental toughness. I'm sorry, I saw Jackson Dart's mental toughness. It was against Florida when Cuz threw like back to back picks and was crying on the sideline. It's like you crying because your defense just turned over the ball. They just turned over the ball. And you crying. During not after the game, during the game. You lack mental toughness. You just do. In the game. In the game because you had a pick. On the bench, got your head down. What is that? What is that? Better rile me up, bro. Because some of this stuff don't make any sense. And then these stupid behind GMs and like draft experts have then convinced some people that Shedeur really ain't good at all. But want to know what's funny? The same crowd that be criticizing Shedeur, they love the Orange Man. And so when the Orange Man tweeted support for Shedeur, they were put in a pickle. Because now you got to follow the cult. Now you got to follow what masses say. It's interesting. I'm like, what are y'all going to say now about Shedeur? Because your quote unquote Lord and Savior supported him. Shouldn't you fall in line? Now we got some people arguing Josh Allen versus Jalen Hurts. Look, talent-wise, Josh Allen, he's more talented, but give me Jalen Hurts' career. Hurts is better. Like, I could see if the Eagles won the Super Bowl and it was in spite of Jalen Hurts, or like he was real deal being carried. Like, all right, fine. But you don't, by accident, just by coincidence, have your biggest games of your career in the Super Bowl. Just sorry. That just. Like, come on. Like, man. Yeah. Hey, while we wait for the Eagles to make this draft or get this pick in, shoot me any questions. And we're gonna do a thing where like every Monday, it's like MJ's Monday mailbag, where any questions about sports, about life, about whatever, DM me and we're gonna talk about it. But yeah, they look at what Hurts did in 2023 and say, well, that was the biggest collapse in NFL history. Well, yeah, Hurts did such a carry job, that the Eagles were 10-1 with a terrible defense. And the defense got worse, like worst of the league bad, with Matt Patricia. And that's when they went on that terrible, terrible run at the end of that season. Mm-mm-mm. MJ, who do we want in the second round? We want Landon Jackson, Kevin Winston Jr., but we can get him third round. We can get him third round. It's really Landon Jackson. That's what it is. It's Landon Jackson or it's Mike Green or Shamar Turner. Whoa. Yeah, I'd probably say Shamar Turner. Somebody asked me how do I think the Panthers are gonna do this season. Uh I think it depends on JC Horn staying healthy. It depends on the development of Bryce Young. It's a couple of pieces there. Um yeah, it's a couple of pieces there. I don't think they make the playoffs. I take that back though. That division ain't nothing. Can you bank on the Falcons? No. You can't bank on them. Nah. The Buccaneers, they are. They are. Um, they ain't no world beaters though. And the Saints are trash. So if you're in a bad division, anything is possible for you to go ahead and make the playoffs. Or at least. And of course, the Ravens got Mike Green. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. As of this moment, the Ravens are killing the draft. Killing the draft. They're number one right now. They're killing the draft. You got Malachi Starks and Mike Green. Mike Green's a top 15 talent. Top 10 talent. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That just pissed me off. It pissed me off just because I know if Mike Green is in Philly and he's surrounded by the players for the Eagles and with that top tier organization, he's going to flourish. And the Ravens, they are a top tier organization, and he's going to flourish there. That just pissed me off with the Ravens, bruh. Joe Burrow? Joe freaking Burrow. Um, you're going to be running for your life, boy. You're going to be running for your life, boy. Myles Garrett got paid. They got Mason Graham. The Ravens, they got Mike Green. Oh, wow. Hey, shout out South Korea. Shout out South Korea. Somebody on Instagram right now just said that they tuning in live for the first time from South Korea. Shout out the Global Real Talk Squad. But I would say Landon Jackson. That's my guy. Darius, Darius Alexander. Darius Alexander? No? Took our dudes twice. Like, what the Ravens on, bro? Like, I get it. Top tier organizations think alike, but damn. Damn. Yeah, I think Landon's gonna be there, bro. Landon is gonna be there. It's either going to be Landon Jackson or Harold Finnan from Bowling Green. Y'all stole Amos. That's what y'all did. Bruh, somebody on YouTube just named Dak Prescott, Jared Goff over Jalen Hurts. That's pretty disrespectful. Yeah, the Bears have been snapping. I ain't gonna lie. The Bears just got Shamar Turner. What do I think about Kevin Winston? I think if he's available in the third round, I would grab him. I would, because the opportunity for Winston Jr. and Sidney Brown to compete for that starting safety spot would be great. That would be great. Flat out what? You want to get younger. You want to get younger. Um, I don't know who would win that, but whoever wins it is going to be a stud. It's going to be a good battle. Again, iron sharpens iron. The thing with Kevin Winston is that, like, he didn't play that much in college. That's why his instincts are off. Like, he's a great athlete. He's got all the tools physically, but there are certain instincts that you develop the more that you play. So he didn't really play as much at Penn State. That's why he dropped in this draft. So that's why with Kevin Winston Jr. versus Malachi Starks is going to start day one, week one. He will start alongside Kyle Hamilton. Kevin Winston Jr., I would not predict him starting week one. I would really get, I really feel like Landon Jackson. Landon Jackson, bruh. I'll be loving you always. That Stevie Wonder song, as it's a banger. That's a banger. Really is though. Man. No, Shedeur, he not getting picked until like the Steelers are gonna pick him. Yeah, the Steelers are gonna pick him in the third round. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah, the Steelers are going to pick him in the third round. My fault. Third round. All right, here we go, y'all. Here we go. The Giants not gonna pick him because they already got Dart. Hey, all of y'all on all of y'all on Instagram, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube right now. Go to YouTube. We're about to react to the Eagles draft pick. Live reaction. Go to YouTube. If you're on YouTube right now, stay there. Stay there. Stay there. You know, I'm trying to get them followers up. Trying to get them followers up. I got 30K on the gram. I need 30K subscribers. I'm about to like record. Let's see who the Eagles get, bruh. Landon Jackson. Landon Jackson. Landon Jackson. Landon Jackson. I'm not looking at I'm not looking at the whatchamacallit. I'm not trying to look at the chat because I just don't want nobody to spoil it. Y'all know I keep the real reactions. The real deal reactions. No fake Johns over here. I'm trying to keep a real reaction. Again, y'all just tuning in. My birthday tomorrow. I had to go live. Had to go live for the second round. Had to. Had to. And we're going to react to the Birds' second round pick. I'm going to react, give my take, and then I'm getting myself a drink. And I want steak too. Hey, if you want to donate to the channel, be my guest. Be my guest. Man, oh man, I'm ready. Can these commercials come on? Can the commercials come on? But I would love Landon Jackson, bro. I would love Landon Jackson. For y'all just joining, I'm not checking the chat yet because y'all be spoiling some stuff. So I'm trying to just watch these commercials and see the Eagles' second round pick. And the positions of need: safety, tight end, defensive line. No, we're not getting Shedeur. Yeah. And since 2018, Howie Roseman's second round picks outside of JJ Arcega-Whiteside have been lights out. Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders, Jalen Hurts, Landon Dickerson. Ooh-wee! Bum, 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 bum. Fly, Eagles, fly. On the road to victory, I want Landon. Landon Jackson. Where Gilly at? Where Gilly at? Yo, y'all gotta have Unk in that joint. Where Gilly at? Go Birds, but we getting safety. We getting over Kevin Winston Jr.? So he's a coverage guy. He's a coverage guy. We know that Reed ain't the best in coverage. How we feeling? How we feeling, y'all? How we feeling? All right. Again, I think what's Cuz name, bro? What's Cuz name? Andrew Mabuka, bruh. Ooh, I will say this. Andrew Mukabuka. Mukuba. Mukuba. I can't. All right, I'll say this. Real, I gotta do a little more research. But what I can tell off face value though is that he's a safety slash nickelback. And Cooper DeJean, what does he do? He's in the nickel. And Andrew Muka, bro. How do I say Cuz name, bro? Mukuba. 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 All right. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Mukuba. All right. I'll say, because, I got to make this stuff for the drum. I'll say this, bruh. If you got Andrew Mukuba, I said it right, and his twin is Cooper DeJean, like they locked in for real. Again, that's iron sharpens iron. I always look at who are the teammates surrounding these guys and how are they going to be lined up in practice. But ultimately, this brings great competition for Sidney Brown. It does. Andrew Mukuba was Mel Kiper's one of his favorite sleepers in the draft. He ran a 4.55, a 4.45 combine. I'll read like the description they have on him, and obviously we're gonna do more research. Somebody said this goes to show we really wanted Starks. Yeah. But he reads the quarterback and has range to play center field in single high looks. Mukuba can stay phase running with tight ends and slot receivers. His arms are short, but he closes and times his hits well enough to break up the catches. And he led the SEC in interceptions with 5 in 2024. He's quick to get downhill defending the run and getting to blockers at the point of attack. So he had, look at this real quick. All right. Andrew Mukuba, I'm getting the name right now. He has a SEC record, or not record, but Andrew Mukuba leads the SEC in interceptions with 4. And he parlays that with 4 tackles for loss. He is excellent in coverage. Excellent. Now he's got to work on open field tackling. But guess who he's going to be lined up with in practice every day? Cooper DeJean, who plays the nickel. That dumped Derrick Henry. Dumped him. That tackled Jamar Chase in the open field. That was one of the best tacklers on this team, Cooper DeJean was. So this is a move that we have to trust. Not only is it trust Howie, but it's trust Christian Parker and it's trust Vic Fangio. Because we got to say this. I'm surprised Christian Parker hasn't become a DC yet. I'm surprised. I'm real life surprised. That's ultimately what it is. So his upside, Andrew Mukuba, his upside comes from him developing more in the box. Because what Saquon Barkley showed is that the running back position, it ain't dead. Hell, what the Lions showed, although they folded, but they folded because of their quarterback. They showed running the ball ain't dead. I mean, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs. So you're going to see more teams run the pill. And so in order for Mukuba to reach his full potential, he needs to be better in open field while tackling. But then again, that's what we got Reed Blankenship for. One thing I know about Reed Blankenship, one thing I know about him, he gonna hit you hard. So, again, we're gonna do more research and all of that, but I like this, bro. I like this, but most of all, I trust Christian Parker and I trust Vic Fangio. And the dream of the Justin Simmons thing is probably out of reach now. Probably out of reach. We'll see. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. You feel me? This is a great. You can teach tackling. Them instincts, you can't teach that. I love that. No, he's a ball hawk for sure. He's a ball hawk. Yeah. He is a ball hawk for sure. So it's going to be good. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. It is Real Talk with Miles Johnson, where I know I'll always keep it real. Like, comment, subscribe, show it a friend. We are growing this channel. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We are